Hey everyone, Tom here with Go Auto. Welcome to the Go Garage. And in today's video, we clearly don't have any cars behind us. That's because today we're doing a year in review on all the cars that we've touched on and had here in the studio or at the dealerships. Next to me, we have Oscar, one of our main anchors, as well as Jessy on my other side. And Nolan's actually a new face for in front of the camera, but he's one of the main primary directors and videographers for our team here in the Go Garage. So let's kick things off here with probably our favorite subject, SUVs. Now, what was probably your favorite feature out of all the vehicles you've touched on, Oscar?
Immediately what came to mind was the Durango Hellcat, and just the monstrous engine on that vehicle was pretty impressive, and that paired with sort of a family-friendly SUV on the inside I thought that was like kind of an interesting characteristic to have.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know, Nolan, you actually filmed that video. So what was your favorite take on that car?
Oh, it was so long ago, so many vehicles and so many things to remember.
I like the name. I'm like, of all the names, Durango Hellcat's like right up there. Oh, yeah.
It's got a badge on the side too. It's like the Hellcat badge on the side, so you know.
Yeah.
And the sound of the engine. We actually took a little recording of the sound of the engine because it's so monstrous.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I think actually before we get to your favorite idea there on the vehicle, actually it was the funniest thing was because when we were doing that exhaust note and we learned the hard way not to rev the car in the studio because it squirted all of its, excess water onto the studio wall. We had to repaint it by like 4 coats.
Yeah, that's good.
So we didn't even tell my boss that, and she's right there.
Yeah, she's behind the camera now. Like, you did what now?
I think it makes you think immediately, like, because I'm a dad, so I like the idea of having a car that's obviously family friendly, but then the option also on the weekend to just like rip around in it, Impress the boy with some donuts in the parking lot.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Nolan, what's your favorite thing on that car?
Yeah, honestly, I think you touched on it, was the exhaust note. The interior is great. You could tell, like, when you buy a vehicle like that, you're getting your money's worth in performance. You feel those dollars were spent, but as soon as you rev it, you know those dollars were spent. And it echoed in here.
And I think something that really helps the design of that vehicle is definitely going to be all the hood vents and air vents that thing had.
Sure.
And actually, that reminds me too. The Dodge Hornet, which we reviewed. Oh,
It's a while ago now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like one of the first.
It was one of the
5.
One of the first, definitely first 10 for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that car it's a compact SUV. And it was just, I think it's just something completely different from a lot of other SUVs out there.
Yeah, I was sort of surprised by that one, and I don't know if it's because I think Dodge and I think family vehicle and I think minivan. So I don't know if it's because in my mind I was just picturing something a lot larger. But I was impressed by the fact that it still felt very spacious, but it was also it was much sleeker than what I expected from Dodge, I think. It felt like it did feel like a car to sort of rip around in more than I expected.
Yeah, definitely kind of had a lot more of that, city going around in like a very compact design, but it was just very sporty for how small it was. Nolan, which vehicle would be your favorite for like exterior design and character and everything?
I do something about that, maybe just the way that we talked about it, but the piano key design on the light bar on the back of the Infiniti. I can't remember exactly which one it was.
Yeah, the QX80.
The QX80.
Yeah.
Just how that looks. Whenever I see it on the road, I'm just like, piano key design. It just sticks to me. It just looks like it too, right? I think moments like those where it's the distinctive features of certain vehicles, they just like, they catch you. You drive around the city, you see hundreds of vehicles and you're like, oh yeah, you see this all day, you see that all day. And just like those little things as they pass by, they just stick with you.
Yeah, little indications of certain vehicles that just, help them stand out even that much more. So for like the Infiniti QX80, it's definitely going to be the taillights. Or for you, for example, like the Ford Maverick, the Lobo, that thing was so cool. The Lobo had, because you didn't see this, Jessy, but the Ford Maverick is a compact pickup truck from Ford. The Lobo is paying homage to the generations of before or years of before for compact trucks and light duty pickup trucks that had a bit more of that street vibe to them. Like they were lowered, had some big wheels on them, the big dinner plates on it, and the Lobo captured that perfectly for this modern day and age.
The rims were really distinctive. Yeah, that truck surprised me because I'm a big fan of the old, like the little Ford Rangers.
Yeah.
I love those, the older models. They're getting a bit bigger now, but that size of truck I kind of have in my head as this ideal. Like that's the kind of truck I would need. Like I do a little bit of DIY stuff around my house, but I'm not hauling around like massive amounts of machinery or anything. Like just need to be able to haul lumber and stuff like that. So something a bit sleeker like that, something that still feels really urban but practical.
Yeah.
You can still load it up for the landfill. I really like that truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say-
We both did. We were both kind of started dreaming
Yeah.
when we saw that truck.
That was one of the ones where you just, like, it's whatever, it's a truck, nothing crazy. Tom was like, this is really cool, like really check this out. And when we started going into it, we're like, oh, look at this feature. Oh, I love this. Oh, what's the price point on this?
And you know what? Actually, that kind of made me think of this. The Ram 3500 that you reviewed, that monster. I remember when we filmed this in the studio, we actually had to add additional lights so that it could be properly lit to film the video. I love the idea of having a truck, but I have no need for a truck at all, right? Like the biggest hauling that I'm gonna do is, I don't know, maybe going to the dump or taking out bottles, which I can do in my SUV just fine, right?
Sure.
So having a truck kind of like the Ford Lobo, or thinking of like the GMC Canyon or something a little bit bigger, but not necessarily like full-size truck, it's pretty handy to have. Well, I got a bit of a quick little hot topic actually here for everyone. So obviously there's the exterior design and then there's the interior of the design. Now it's my personal opinion that the interior is something that should be more tailored to your liking. And the exterior design is always going to be something that you're going to be seeing when you approach the vehicle, when you walk away from the vehicle. But the interior, the driver's seat, passenger seat, and overall tech and everything, in my opinion, that's probably the most important aspect of a vehicle. And I kind of want to pick your brains a little bit. Do you guys prefer the exterior or the interior design of vehicles?
Interior design.
Yeah?
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I don't care that much about the exterior. Like, I really don't. There's enough to worry about with cars. Like, fuel economy is important to me. Trunk space is important to me. Like, I work in the arts, and sometimes I've got to haul a set around, or sometimes I've got 4 friends that, like, I care a lot about really practical things. Yeah. But I will say, we were just talking about recently, we did this BMW X5, and it had all of this like gorgeous ambient lighting on the inside, and with like 3 clicks of a button, it wasn't complicated, but you could like make your lighting bespoke lighting, and there was like 12 options. It wasn't like blue or red. They had like, oh, it's a lavender purple or a royal purple, and it was so easy to navigate. Sometimes with those features too, I find, in theory, I can change the lights, but it's so complicated to work your way through the settings that you don't bother.
Totally, yeah. Because Nolan, you actually filmed both the BMW X5 and the X7.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, or do you think there's probably a better interior out there?
For luxury vehicles, well, I remember me and Oscar were talking about the Macan, and I was like, this vehicle, man, this interior is gorgeous.
Yeah.
But if you put them side by side, it's like, what do you want? What don't you want? What's more important to you? What's not as important? I found with the X7 was just, you felt like royalty. You felt like, you're that big artist, all these different, like this feature, that feature. I don't want to say there's too many features, but there's so many features that you're like, to the point where you're like, is there too many? Could a vehicle have too many features?
And sometimes when we're trying to decide what to talk about in the video, there have been vehicles where we kind of go like, it's got the wireless charger and cup holders, and the leather seats are nice, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Whereas that one, it was a little bit like we kept discovering, like, oh, you can also do this.
Right?
And at a certain point we just gave up because there
Yeah.
were so many. So yeah, as you say, it's like, is it too many?
Right.
Or is it just something you need to get used to because there's so many?
I wanted to interject here.
Yeah.
Because if we're talking interior versus exterior, I go for exterior design. It's very
Really?
important to me. It's very important to me. I think about what my vehicle is communicating to the outside world.
It's very shallow of you.
It is.
Inner beauty is more important, Oscar. It's what's on the inside that counts.
Yeah.
No, not for you.
No, that's elementary school. We all know.
We've all moved past it.
We're
We
in our
know.
30s now. We understand.
Yeah, we know the world
First
works.
appearances, that's everything.
So then, did you have like an exterior or an interior that really did it for you?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that. That being said, going into the Bronco Sport, I had a wow moment
yeah.
with the interior design of that car. I love the exterior already. I was already sold. And then it was something about that, it was a white Bronco we had.
Yeah.
And open it, we had the 3-tone brown seats, and it just felt luxurious inside. There was so much visibility. I really liked that.
Sorry, I'm
were you just
thirsty.
staring right down the barrel as you drank that water?
Yeah, I was just like, I needed a quick sip.
It's so hard to hold the laugh when he like pulls it out.
He has to call him out.
Someone's always been talking while he's done it, and I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, no, my voice gets very dry very quickly. So like, yeah, what you don't see on camera when I'm in front of it is like I have like 3 water bottles next to me because I'm always just I lose my voice after the first intro. So
It takes twice as
my
long
voice
just
is
for the
getting dry
bathroom
right
breaks.
now.
He's
Yeah.
always.
We'll go
So
back to the
for
video.
you, Oscar, with the Bronco, it wasn't a case of like, oh, I learned about all these features and now I like it. You just like immediately, as soon as you sat in it, you were like, this is nice.
Yeah, and that's going to be like, I don't think I'm as detail oriented when it comes to that kind of thing. It's that first impression that makes the biggest impact on me. Like, and it takes a lot to bowl me over. Like, I'm numb on the inside generally. So
Dark.
And that's why the exterior is really the only important part.
yeah, I was gonna say like his cars, it's only exterior.
And then the 911 had that same impact on me. Sitting in that car, it was like being a whole new person. Like it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like that fighter jet feel I think we talked about in the video.
Yeah.
Like you just want to accelerate and get going. Like it's so different from like pretty much any other vehicle I sat in.
I think honestly that would probably be my only gripe with that car is actual like accessible back seats that are terribly unusable.
Right.
I think every aspect of that car is beautiful. It's fun to drive. Sure, to some people it might sound like a vacuum. I think it sounds okay. Put a little exhaust on it and it's good to go or something like that. But it's the back seats in that vehicle that I think are just pointless. I like reorganize it almost to be like a large storage compartment.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
puts like have a sectioned off area so you can put golf clubs in there or something, or a stroller if you want, something like that would be kind of cool. I don't know. What would you guys' biggest gripe on vehicles be?
I really can't stand, and this is partly just who I am as a person. I hate it when everything is electronic and you have to go through a dozen menus to do basic things.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go beep boop beep boop beep boop boop just to turn the fan down one
Yeah.
notch. I actually prefer more analog for that reason.
More buttons than less screens. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
and as you get used to the vehicle, you know, you can do that one-handed and keep an eye on the road, whereas when it's all on a screen, and you've got to try to navigate through all those electronics, I don't like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah, the over, like when everything's on a screen, I think it looks cool, but it's not really practical. One feature I love in a vehicle is a heads-up display, because I also, with my height, quite often, once the steering wheel's adjusted, the wheel will block my speedometer. And so I can either choose to have the steering wheel slightly less comfortable, or I have to kind of dip my head to see the speedometer. So I can't even pick a vehicle because so many have heads-up displays now. But it's one of those features that I never thought I would love. But the first time I drove a vehicle with heads-up display and I didn't have to take my eyes off the road to see how fast I was going. It's such a little thing,
Yeah.
but it's so nice.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know one vehicle that we've reviewed that had a heads-up display was the Kia Seltos. Was that you, Oscar?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's instead of a regular heads-up display, or not regular, but instead of a heads-up display that gets reflected onto the glass, like all the ones you reviewed,
Yeah.
it was actually a little screen that came up from the dash
Yeah.
to be a heads-up display on that screen. I don't know, what was your thought on it?
I didn't mind. I liked it. It felt a little bit James Bond, the way that it would kind of appear and disappear into the dash, you know. And as we've discussed, I'm all about appearances here. So
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, that's from the guy that prefers the exterior over the interior. So that should say a lot on the vehicle there for
I have
you,
to say that
think.
does sound pretty cool.
it was awesome. It was
That
awesome. You
sounds
turn it
pretty
on and
cool.
sort of appears.
Yeah.
And it seemed practical enough to me. I thought that would actually still be quite in my line of sight. So
Yeah.
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that so much.
Nice.
I think it was for me one thing that stood out as a bit odd was I think it was the QX80. In the back seat there was a touch screen in the like kind of in the armrest, and you could use that.
It's like a little tablet there.
It was a little tablet, and at first, like when you first get in, you're like, oh wow, that's great, like another touchscreen, this will be super practical. But it was sort of in the way, it felt like my hand would have rested on it if I was using the armrest.
Yeah.
It didn't actually, it felt flashy but not practical. And I think that's sort of an example when we're just kind of jamming a lot of tech in there and making it look like, oh, you can do all this customization, but actually, 2 years into using that vehicle, are you still going to be enjoying that? Is it going to be all smudged and not actually looking good anymore?
Well, think of like watches sitting on there too, right? Just like the
Scratching
little
it up.
scratches.
Yeah, exactly. And just for the day-to-day comfort of sitting there, oh, I accidentally turned on heated seat again or whatever,
Yeah.
I didn't.
And for so many people, it's kids back there. So
Absolutely.
I'm picturing kids with, juice or soda or whatever, and I'm immediately going like, something's gonna spill on that.
Totally. Something that really surprised me was going into the Ram 3500.
Yeah.
That vertical infotainment
Yeah.
screen was wild. It was massive. The interior of that entire truck blew my mind, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Like it felt like a luxury SUV on the inside, but it's like a heavy-duty pickup truck.
Yeah.
But the infotainment in particular was vertical, and this is like tech designed well. That's not only flashy and eye-catching, but also really practical because you could see so far ahead the navigation, and also you're able to have kind of double screen happening, but in a way you could actually see and work everything. And the passenger also had their own infotainment screen, which I also liked. That was kind of cool. F-150 sort of surprised me with that too. I was like, wow, the inside of this vehicle is so luxurious.
Yeah.
And yet it's just serious pickup truck.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's pretty crazy, especially with trucks going from the the more entry level trims all the way to the top of the lines. Where your entry levels are going to have your cloth seats, command start, and basically good to go. Like it's your work truck, right? It's made for the grunt on the job site or anything like that. And then you can get the top of the line, Laramies for Ram or Limited, sorry. And then for the F-150s, you can get the Platinums all the way at the top of the line, and just really have it go from the entry-level employee to the CEO of the company,
Yeah, right, no kidding.
all within one vehicle, which is pretty impressive too. But no, that infotainment system on the Ram was stellar.
It was very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I keep it simple. And it's something that I experienced this year for the first time, and it was a game changer. Doing a lot of film work and stuff outside. We did some vehicles out with the Jetta and the GTI and stuff like that outside.
Yeah, the Golf R.
Yeah, that's what it was, the Golf R. And you jump into the vehicle and you turn on that ventilated seat. Oh, and that's something I love. So that's something I'm looking for in my next vehicle.
Yeah, for sure. Jesse?
It's become a sort of bizarre running joke in the videos that my favorite feature is the little screen that you can lift up, when people have a sunscreen in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know how or why that began.
Yeah, I don't know who makes the scripts or anything.
I don't
to
No,
make
that
your
was, I
favorite
can't
feature.
blame you for that. I think I just one day was like, my favorite thing. And then I was like, for continuity, it's always got to be my favorite
Yeah,
thing.
it's like you can't have another
Yeah.
favorite thing.
I can't. I do love a sunscreen. I think they're very handy. And now this is luxury on the luxury end of things. The Range Rover, I have to say, one thing that was unique in that Range Rover was the center console in the front. You opened it up and it was refrigerated in there.
Oh, right, the
And
Sport.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Every time I open a center console, I think, remember that Range Rover had a little fridge in there? And I just think like you're going on a road trip in the summer and to have a little fridge and your drinks are kept cold. I thought that was really cool. Yeah. On the non-luxury end of things, we did a Bronco recently and took the roof, right? The roof and the doors come off.
Yeah.
And which had never really been something that I thought was a feature I would want. But what impressed me in that vehicle was how easy it was.
Oh, yeah.
Like you came in, it was, a one-person job. It was click, 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 and off it comes. It was so easy.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. I liked that a lot. I liked the ease with which it happened.
Yeah,
The Jurassic Park feels.
for sure.
Yeah, I was up there like living my best Jurassic Park fantasies. It was great.
I think it'd be kind of interesting actually maybe to have a head-to-head of, the Jeep Wrangler and the Ford Bronco, rather than kind of like spec versus spec, tech versus tech. Like we do I think it'd be kind of fun if we have Oscar and Tom versus Nolan and Jessy.
Right, how
Fastest to
fast.
remove the roofs and the doors
Ooh.
wins.
Oh.
And maybe we'll win something.
Yeah.
Bragging rights probably.
Yeah.
Wins the vehicle.
Yeah.
We
It's
get an
really
inflatable
easy.
dinosaur.
Yeah. You get a giant water bottle to drink water from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants one of those.
we've been pretty grateful to actually access so many vehicles that when someone's car shopping, they might not be able to go to every single vehicle that we've been able to. So one of the questions I want to ask is, if you guys actually were given $100,000, like in the movies, bag full of money slid across the table, probably not the way that the movies are showing it, but what vehicle would you purchase if you were given $100,000?
The Toyota RAV4.
Really?
I don't have to think about it. Yeah, it's funny because I think it was the first or second vehicle we ever did. And I remember getting the script for the day and thinking, these numbers can't be right. Like that vehicle, between, if you start off the day with a full battery and a full tank of gas, you can go almost 1,000 kilometers before that car will stop.
Yeah.
And I thought, that can't be correct. I care about pretty practical things, and that car is still my favorite. Like, first day of filming, and it's never been topped for me personally.
Nolan, what's your favorite for the year?
Well, I juggled with this one. I love the EV9.
From Kia?
I like the Tiguan. I like the Atlas. I think what really jumps to me is that Porsche Macan. We did a fair amount of Porsches, and there was like, yeah, I understand the culture. I understand like you're spending a lot of money. You get these different trims. You get all these features. It seems to be very like you're investing into the community. But that Macan, every time I'd be filming B-roll or something, I'd say, hey, Oscar, come here for a sec. He's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, this feels like you spent the money. He's like, wow, yeah, this is great. And I'm like, just like sit in it. And so we'd chat, and then time would go by, and I'd do the B-roll, the back seats, and I'm like, Oscar, come here for a sec. Man, sit in this vehicle. You really get every dollar out of it. And like infotainment, I'm like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And that for me was just
Totally.
slam dunk, yeah.
You're certainly getting every dollar out of that $100,000 cash, because that car couldn't be any closer to the
for
$100,000
sure.
price.
They gave me the money, and I said, well, it's already spent.
Can I get 2 RAV4s? If I can I squeeze 2 in under $100,000?
Depending on trim levels.
Depending on trim
You
levels?
can do
I
that.
choose 2 plug-in hybrid RAV4s.
Ooh.
One for winter, one for summer.
Yeah. One for the kids and one
One
just
with
for
the
me.
kids, one
Yeah.
with the friends.
Yeah.
That way you never have to clean the car with the kids.
There you go.
Yeah.
The one with the kids, this is the one the kids can drop cheeseburgers all over the floor.
Yeah, right off.
Yeah. Well, Oscar, you gonna go with a 2 vehicle choice, or are you gonna try and?
I'm gonna do a single vehicle.
pinch
I'm gonna
your
try
way
to
it.
pocket as much of this 100,000 as I can. Yeah, I'm not gonna be looking for luxury vehicles. I'm more in the budget vehicle range.
for an
And
exterior, all about appearance.
all about
guy.
exterior, all about appearance guy.
Yeah.
I ended up really liking the Hyundai Kona. I think it's
Really?
I think it's at first the exterior kind of put me off. I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this big light bar, but then the more I looked at it, it looks really friendly to me. And the first car I drove, I learned on was a VW camper van, bright yellow. You ever
Oh,
seen
yeah.
Little Miss Sunshine?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that exact car. And
Yeah.
and I kind of miss the days when cars looked like friendly little people like driving around the roads. And I
The
feel
camper van wasn't little, but
oh, sure, okay. But the Kona kind of has that feeling to me with the wide headlights in front, and it's kind of like how that big smile with the light bar. And I've seen them drive around the city, and I'm like, that just looks like a friendly vehicle.
Yeah.
The fuel economy is great. That's very important for me when I look at the vehicle. Fuel economy and bang for your buck is what I always look at.
Yeah.
And it's a great price. I thought interior was just. It was uncluttered. It was well designed. The center was really nice and clean with the gear selector behind the steering wheel.
Yeah.
There's just lots to like on that vehicle. So that felt like just a good, solid budget choice for me. Tom, lay it on us. What's your favorite?
Pressure's on.
Yeah.
Here's your bag of money. What are you gonna do?
Here's my bag of money. Okay, I got this bag of money. I think honestly, it comes down to a couple choices. I'm gonna do something that Nolan did. I'm gonna get a Genesis GV70, and because that vehicle just wowed me. And again, that's gonna be a vehicle that's gonna be posted soon here. But that is incredible. From all the cool features that it's got, all the amazing design language, and the fact that when it was being announced that Genesis said like, hey, like we're wanting to compete against the Porsche Macan, which is a vehicle that you guys loved, and you put all your money into that vehicle, for example. The Genesis GV70, when it was announced, wow, did you hear that voice crack?
That's really good.
Did you just hit puberty?
What's happened?
You're real passionate about this, eh?
But you know what, with that vehicle, honestly, the thing that impressed me the most is all the cool tech in it. Like for yourself, like you like button operations and a bit more of that analog style. I like that, but I want it to look really nice. And I think the Genesis GV70 had that nice comparison of being a haptic screen that's always there with a couple dials and buttons for your climate control. So it really like met in the middle with that design language, and just like the overall fit and finish is incredible. And the one that I think I would probably choose though, and like would buy 2 of in the aspect of compared to the RAV4.
Join me.
I'm joining you in the aspect of 2,
Okay.
not with the vehicle.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Honda Passport. That new one that came out was incredible. That vehicle, it is boxy without being small. It's got a cool interior without being over the top, and it's capable without being focused on that. It's got this look of, you know, being very different while still having that Honda tech and reliability.
You can get rugged in it.
You can get rugged in it, yeah. Well, on that funny note there, Jessy, I'm probably going to put an end to this right now. Thank you so much for being here, Jessy, Oscar. It's always a pleasure having you guys in the studio, and I think it's kind of it's nice. We got to do a little more of a sit-down conversation with each other, and
Yeah.
thank you for being here, guys. Nolan,
Yeah.
pleasure to finally see you in front of the camera,
Yeah.
buddy. Love to have
Grateful
it.
to be here.
Yeah, great to be here. And we'll leave everything be with that. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for multiple videos coming out before the end of the year, including over Christmas break. And we're super excited to share a lot of fun videos coming out here in 2026.
Thanks for watching.
Happy New Year.
Like and subscribe. You gotta have that in there. I don't know why Tom didn't put it in there.